It is now time for me to have a conversation with Jennifer Waridi. We find out more about what she needs decoded. Jennifer.
Yes.
So you landed on a tall, dark and handsome guy.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay. And you mentioned that at that particular time when you were seeing him, you're like, ooh, looks good and all that kind of stuff, but you're like, let me focus on my career.
Yes, yes, yes. Of course, I didn't have the plans to get into a relationship. I had never had one. So actually, he's my first. And so I felt that, yeah, if he really needs me and if he's the one that God has, designed him for me, however handsome he looks, he'll have to wait.
He'll have to wait.
And actually, he waited because from when I accept 20 years, we've married when I'm 25, last year. Yeah.
So 5 years, eh?
5 years, we had to wait.
Okay, okay. Do you sometimes feel like career can conflict with family or love?
Career, yeah.
It can, eh?
Yeah, if you don't get the person who can understand you better, it can, because as for me, he found me when I'm in college, in the university. So even probably he didn't know what I would venture into. Yes. And if he was not as well into the media industry, probably we would not be together because I ventured when I was in the university, niliingia kwa modeling industry. I was the first and former Miss Tourism Lamu. Nikaifanya for like 2 to 3 years. After that, the commercial modeling, and after that, that's when I decided now it's my time now to recruit girls in the. I opened an academy, modeling academy. It's called Kenya Modeling and Beauty Academy. Now nikasema sasa itabidi naacha sasa nimezeeka. And as well I went to the media industry, nilimaliza nikaingia kwa TV, and probably I always feel that if he was not as well in the media industry, probably hatungekuwa pamoja, because these are some things that for most of men they feel probably insecure, or msichana, every time there's gigs after the other, weekend iko fully booked, going to judge, going to model, at work and stuff. And of course I got into the industry as a born again lady, knowing that I'm coming to make some change to the industry and to do the modeling in a godly way. Because even Esther modeled, and it is in the Bible.
Yeah, well,
it is good.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. So here you are. You've decided now it's time for me to get into a relationship, and it's time for me to start a family and to build a love life leading to marriage. And then you mentioned that one of his challenges is anger.
Yes.
At what point did you realize that, Charlie, this tall, dark and handsome fella, is my anger issues, eh? At what point did you realize that?
There's a time we were together, and we were seated somewhere, we were strolling, and we decided to rest. So mali tulikaa ni karibu na kijiwe mahali fulani hivi, alafu kulikuwa na wasi hapo nyuma. And I had my tablet listening to music. So tulipokaa nikaekelea simu hapo kwa kijiwe. And a certain guy decided to preserve the phone well, not knowing that I've plugged in my earphones.
Yeah.
So jamaa akaenda kuvuta, so mimi nikasikia earphones zimetolewa kwa pad. And I was like kuangalia nyuma, the guy was trying to, and yeye alikuwa ameenda just to a nearby shop, just few steps away. So and I kind of screamed. So nilipo scream, jamaa akaachana na simu, and my husband akaniangalia, and he realized that something was a mess. And when he came, he asked me nini, and I've told him the guy wanted to scream my phone, and he was like, "Huh?" So he pounced on him.
Whoa, akampiga.
Akampiga. And it was not really hata kumpiga, he gave him two heads nini. Zinaitwaje?
Like a headbutt.
Yes.
Yes.
Billy, it was 2, and he started bleeding, and was like,
Whoa.
"Yo."
And you're laughing right now. At that point, it was very, very scary.
Yeah,
like,
it was
like,
scary.
what is
It was
that?
scary.
Yeah.
Yani head mbili tu. Msi ameanza kubleed, and like the guy apologized, and nikamwambia no, achana na yeye, and I pleaded with him. Well, as well, during our dating, sometimes he would come and tell me that, I really want to settle. hii job yangu ya security it's not assured, I want to get a family. Hata ile siku nitaenda kupigana vita and the bullet come on my way, at least nitakuwa nimepanda nini, at least I'll be having a family.
Yeah.
And I would tell him, no, I have to wait. You decided you want me to be your wife. I'm just here just for you.
Yes.
So just wait. And I would convince him, now and then, and I would tell him that I'm here and you just need to wait. And as well, those were my parameters. I wanted to know if he has the patience to wait. And angekasirika and would go like for 2 days kama hajaongea amekasirika. So at some point I will tell him, okay, if hii inakutatiza sana, mimi bado niko university, so kama inakutatiza, you be free and you can just look for someone. And he would get mad because I was thinking that I was getting open to him, and giving him a go ahead, but he will take it very, very, in an intense way, and he will tell me, you're getting rude, when nikichwa ngumu, utaki nikuoe, and I'm telling no, Mimi, I'm just here, and I would keep on assuring him day after the other. And I would also try to talk to him. Nikiona for like 2 days we've not communicated, I would know that he's already mad. So I started, knowing his weaknesses. And when I measured, and during hizo moments the dating, niliona kwamba the positivity side, his strength, they are more than the little things of anger,
Yeah. And what about in marriage? Because now in dating, you're seeing him from afar, once in a while, hapa na pale. As in marriage, you're seeing him 24, kila siku namuona tu. Did you also experience like, oh my goodness, my honey, unamuitangaji by the way? Babe, hey babe, hii anga yako, hii asiri yako, when did you start noticing that? Or how do you notice that in marriage?
Well, I thought, during our dating, because we really dated for a long time, for almost 4 years, nilirealize ako nayo. Na kwa sababu I told myself, I promised myself, I just want one guy. Staki ex. I don't have an ex in my life, and I didn't want. Na nikasema, God, I'm not promising myself not to have an ex for me to have a miserable life with a husband. I'm just making some decision, and my principles are that way. Please, God, help me. So since I knew one of his weakness is that, I told God, may you help me that I may be able to manage, to regulate, and just help him to stop this. Because one, I realized that life in kikosi na hapa it's so different, and so far I think it's 3 years ago since he quitted, and so I knew that kitambo conform arudi sasa mtu natural, mtu ambao hana ukikosi ndani yake, it might take long. And actually I said I'll stand by him, and so did I, and I have been standing by him, trying to finish those anger, and I realized before, and I said, and just tell God to help me to deal with them and help them amalize. So tulipokuja kwa marriage, I thank God, hata zimepungua. Zinaenda zikipungua kidogo. Zinaenda zikipungua.
Okay.
So it's not an amaze that, sometimes I hear him amekasirika. There's a time I break a glass and I was like, he get mad. So if I really don't want to fight, because there's for women, kuna ile time natamanga acha sasa tutafight tu. But when you don't want those things to happen, and he talk na unaona kona anger, so what I do, I always just keep quiet. I don't want to answer him back. Sometimes you don't answer him, tena naona
kwa nini unijibu?
Kwa nini hunijibu? Mimi nimekuzoea unanijibu. Unajua? And I've been trying to regulate myself. Najua nanyamaza, and I've seen that really going, it's flattening the curve.
Okay, flattening the curve. I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and your journey, Jennifer Waridi. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.
Well, I'll be speaking with Jennifer, and it is now time for me to have a conversation with her husband, Mr. Ibrahim. Continue staying tuned to Decoded.